I appreciate your testimony here today, and a number of these questions flow to me, even though I may be repeating some of this, but I'm still not clear on how many staff and who it is that establishes the parameters by which the algorithms are written. Can you tell me about how many staff that is and how that works?
Congressman, today it's our search team, which works on the core of our search teams, and it's well over 1,000 people. I'm happy to elaborate more, but it's thousands of people.
That's close enough conceptually. And when you hire them, are they people coming in from the outside, or are they brought up from internally? What's the typical path to this roughly 1,000-person search team?
It's a combination of both, but senior-most engineers on our search team typically tend to have been in the company for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. And so most of the time you will know them from having worked with them. Do you go into their social media to try to determine what they might be doing on social media?
Normally we don't. As a company, we have allowed people to express themselves, but we make it clear that how we build our products is done with great care and thought, focused on giving users the information they are looking for.
But this team of roughly 1,000, they're the people that write the parameters by which those who write the algorithms write the algorithms.
That's roughly correct, yeah.
Uh-huh. And so there isn't really any look at what their private lives are, even though their public social media is not examined by the company. And does anyone outside of Google know who these 1,000 people are?
We don't examine their personal activities, and there are some senior people do participate in conferences and meetings outside, and they're known to the outside community.
And we're watching people whose social media has knocked them out of some pretty high positions in life. Almost every week there's one or more whose social media, this week, a couple of them that I can think of just in the last 24 or 48 hours. But I'm going to make this point, and I believe I've made it with a number of the internet companies that have been sitting here at this table in the past. What we read with situation here is that there's a very strong conviction on this side of the aisle that the algorithms are written with a bias against conservatives. The people on the other side don't agree with that because, of course, it benefits them. But what we don't know are who are these 1,000 people, and we don't know what their social media looks like, but we do know that the people that come from that county are about 80% supporters of Hillary Clinton, if I listened to the gentlelady from California correctly. And so that would be a built-in bias if I know people from California and know their politics from California, and I think I do. So we've got, at least theoretically, a built-in bias that's here. It's not being examined and not examining the social media. How would you expect that you could get to an objective result, which you said that, we build our products in a neutral way, but that doesn't mean that your product comes out neutral. So how would you expect to get to an unbiased result with a built-in formula that I've described that I don't think you object to or disagree with?
Congressman, it's an important question, but the way we rank our results is essentially based on user feedback, and that's what drives the iterative loop in our, in what we put in. So
I do understand how it's prioritized that way, and I watch what's going on. But I made this point that if we don't know who the 1,000 are, and we can't look at their social media, and we can't see the algorithms to understand the results of the work they're doing behind closed doors, and yet the public believes that it's an open forum where there's a balanced exchange of open access for information. And of course, it's not. And so I have said, we either need to know who they are and look at their social media, and if that doesn't solve this problem, next step then is publish the algorithms. If that doesn't happen, then the next step on the line is Section 230. The amendments to Section 230. And the step on the line beyond that is a Teddy Roosevelt step. Now, I'm looking with Mr. Gohmert. I don't want to regulate anything, but neither do I want to see a society that's so polarized and so divided and so loaded that the will of the American people can't be expressed in the ballot box. That looks like either where we are or the direction we're going. And I would just finish it with this. I have a 7-year-old granddaughter who picked up her phone before the election, and she's playing a little game, kind of game a kid would play, and up on there pops a picture of her grandfather. And I'm not going to say into the record what kind of language was used around that picture of her grandfather, but I'd ask you, how does that show up on a 7-year-old's iPhone who's playing a kid's game?
Congressman, iPhone is made by a different company, and so, I mean, I
It might have been an Android. It's just, it was a hand-me-down of some kind. I'd ask,
I'm happy to follow up and understand the specifics. There may be an application which was being used, which had a notification, but I'm happy to understand it better and clarify it for you.
okay, thank you for your testimony and yield back the balance of my time. Appreciate it.
Chairman. Mr. Chairman.